Over the past month, controversy has spread like wildfire through the Super Smash Bros. Melee community. Wobbling, a technique that allows players to infinitely combo their opponent, has been banned by several states, and the conversation surrounding the issue has come to the forefront of gaming circles. But before we dive too deeply into the specifics of the ban, let's take a quick look at what wobbling is and its history in the Smash community.
Dash attack. You could have shined.
Oh my god!
Wobbling is a technique that was popularized and named after ice climbers' main, wobbles. The technique involves getting a grab while both ice climbers are next to each other and desynchronizing them so that they are alternating pummels and jabs at 200 beats per minute. This specific tempo locks the opponent in perpetual hit stun and prevents them from escaping the grab. The technique can be finished off with a kill move, making it incredibly powerful and frustrating to play against. Melee has never had a definitive rule set, and tenuous subjects like wobbling have historically been left up to the discretion of tournament organizers. However, the trend for most tournaments has been towards legalization, and even tournaments like the Big House, which was outspokenly against wobbling for a long time, have relented in recent years. And the reason is that even though the technique may sound overpowered and even broken, ice climbers are still not a very good character. They're hard countered by Puff and Peach, they're easily separated and killed by most characters, and their grab range is so poor that just setting up the wobble is a feat unto itself.
He rolled!
But with more and more ice climbers players coming to tournaments and upsetting big name players, vocal figures like Nun and Plup have brought the public eye once again onto the conversation of wobbling. And so, in early February, a post on the SSBM subreddit stated that Tennessee would be banning wobbling at all tournaments. However, the initial post was determined to be false, posted by a Tennessee Smash community member and not actually authorized by tournament organizers. But a day later, an official statement was made stating that wobbling would, in fact, be banned in certain cities. The ban itself says that ice climbers are not allowed more than 8 pummels off of a grab. So if you get a grab, you can hit the opponents 8 times before you either have to throw them or release them. However, ice climbers are allowed to regrab in any way they choose, and do 8 more pummels before having to regrab again. That means that popo chain grabs or desync regrabs are fair game.
Oh, goodness, dirtying. What? Are you kidding me?
Moving on, any player found breaking these rules is subject to punishment at the TO's discretion, whether it's a warning, a loss of the game, or outright disqualification. Overall, this seems like more of a compromise than a ban, and limits the power of wobbling without completely ruining the character's viability. And this is, in my opinion, a step in the right direction.
Oh, he's taking a selfie.
Yep, he is. He got.
Apart from being debatably overpowered, another point that community members are focusing on is that wobbling is bad for the health of the game. When wobbling occurs on stream, viewers are less likely to engage with the broadcast and some stop watching altogether. It slows down gameplay and has the potential to make Melee less appealing to the masses. Piggybacking on the momentum of this argument, some players also began calling for a Jigglypuff ban, citing an apparent drop in viewership when Puff is on stream or when players like Hungrybox are deep into a tournament bracket. This idea has been taken far less seriously by anyone with actual decision-making powers, but many community members have been hounding after it so much that it almost seems like a legitimate issue. Rule set changes have been a regular part of the Melee community. 4 stocks or 5? Should items be on or off? Is Rainbow Cruise a good legal stage? Back in 2017, there was similar controversy surrounding the appointment of the 25-person rules committee, who would apparently provide a normalized rule set for tournaments to follow. This committee made a number of decisions about the legality of UCF, Arduino mods, the box, and other similar topics. There was a lot of pushback when it came to creating a unified rule set, and most regions ended up taking matters into their own hands. Accompanying the hype of the wobbling ban, a group of regions in the Pacific Northwest comprised of Washington, Oregon, Alberta, and British Columbia announced that a trial running from March 1st until July 1st would introduce some other alterations in addition to the wobbling ban. Final Destination was removed from the list of starter stages and changed to a counterpick, and taking its place is a frozen variation of Pokemon Stadium that doesn't have stage transformations. Many question the viability of using a stage that is only accessible via modded memory card, but anyone who has gone to a tournament recently would be hard-pressed to find a non-UCF setup. So, in 3 weeks, Battle of BC3 will be taking place in Vancouver, Canada, and will be the region's first big tournament to utilize these rule set changes. It'll be the first test of the region's Wobbling Ban, and one of the first large-scale implementations of the new stage picks. Whether they'll be successful or not, we'll just have to see. To sum up the arguments about wobbling, some people say it's overpowered, frustrating, and bad for the health of the game. Others argue that taking it away will cripple Ice Climbers players, and that it's a slippery slope of, if wobbling is banned, what else can we ban? So far, the decisions have involved good compromises, and only time will tell whether banning wobbling has any notable effect on the Melee community in the long run. Thank you so much for watching, guys. A lot of stuff happens every week in the Smash communities, and we want to keep you all up to date. For those who aren't constantly on Twitter and Reddit, we hope these videos will give you insight into what's going on and what you've been missing. As always, drop a like below, comment to let us know what kind of videos you'd like to see, and as always, subscribe to Akshon Esports. My name is Jonah, and I'll see you next time.